If you are thinking about hiring for your small data or AI business, then don't make another move before watching this video, because that's where I'm going to share with you the only 3 steps you'll ever need in order to make sure that your hiring decision produces an ROI for your data business. Now, I did an earlier video, which was like a prequel to this episode. And in that earlier video, I covered 4 mistakes you can make when hiring. If you didn't watch that video, I definitely suggest that after you watch this one, go back and watch the prequel as well. And be sure to stay to the end of this video, because that's where I'm going to be sharing with you a real life demonstration on the type of job descriptions you need to be creating in order to hire top data science talent at somewhat of an affordable rate. For the very best data leadership and business building advice, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when a new episode drops each week. Huge shout out to the community. Thank you so much for all of the likes and comments, and please just keep letting me know what it is you'd like for me to create for you. And thank you so much for being part of this YouTube journey with me. In case you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Lillian Pierson, and I support data professionals to becoming world-class data leaders and entrepreneurs. In terms of why I'm sharing this content now, well, in fact, I am hiring. So I thought I would share my journey and my approach to hiring with people on YouTube, because I know I sure wish I had this information 8 years ago when I started hiring for my own data business, Data-Mania. For me, I've just been way too busy with a rewrite of my book, Data Science for Dummies. I'm rewriting it for the 3rd edition. We are going to be having a launch party in September, and so you are invited. If you would like to join us, you can sign up through a link in the description below. Just look for book launch party. But for now, I just want to teach you a thing or two about hiring data science professionals or data professionals to support you inside your data or AI startup. I definitely know what it is like to get so many clients in your business that you don't have enough support to help them all. That's a situation for my student here, Jordan Goldmeyer. He signed up for my program in January 2021, and within the first 6 months, he's booked $50,000 of contracts, 6 of which have been for $500 an hour. Go Jordan. But he's looking to make another $100,000 this year based on the methods I've taught him inside the course. And so he's going to be really busy, and he's going to need to hire for help. I created this video with him in mind. So Jordan, if you're watching, this one's for you. Of course, the prequel to this video was on all the mistakes and things not to do. But the number one thing is, don't just throw a half-baked project idea up on Upwork and then expect someone to just be able to handle that for you. Now let's talk about what to do. And I've broken this down to 3 somewhat simple steps. Step 1 is cast the nets wide. There's 3 things you need to do as part of step 1. The first thing is to create a quality job description. You want to start off that job description by making clear what is your business mission, its values, and its core focus. And then you want to make sure that you set clear and specific expectations for your new hire. And always include a red herring. Now, a red herring is just a little trick you put in there to test that they actually read the full job description. And so I'll show you how to do that later at the end of this video inside the demonstration. Thing number 2 that you need to do is you need to prepare a application form to use in collecting information from your potential new hires. I would suggest making it long and detailed, because not only will that help you assess the candidates better, but it will also weed out people that really aren't just trying to get a job and don't care about your business. Inside the application, you want to include a mock-up situation to see what they would do in a situation in real life in your business. And be sure just to include lots of open-ended questions, giving them the chance to show off to you why they are the best candidate for the job. Also, inside the application, be sure to loop back and make references to the job description, just to make sure that they've actually read that job description, because you really don't want to hire someone who doesn't even take the time to read the job posting. The third thing you need to do in this step is just to share your job posting. And so this is really the casting the net part. I would suggest sharing it on all of your social media platforms, as well as to your email list. You can put it on job boards, and you can actually put it on Upwork if you'd like to hire from there, but there are a few modifications you'll need to put in place. I'll show you those in just a second, but when you're sharing to social media, I don't want to forget, make sure to add a little special extra red herring step. So you can see here in this social media post I did for LinkedIn that I required them to follow a 2-step process in order to even get the job description, a link to the job posting, and most people failed that. You want to weed out all of the duds before they even get to your application form, right? That is a little tip for hiring through social media, is don't just give it to them, but actually make them follow a process and follow instructions in order to get the job posting. If you want to put the job on Upwork, really, I feel like that's the easiest way to find people because there's so many freelancers on there. And if you're a small business, then you have a budget constraint, right? So you can find people that are able to work from other countries for a more affordable rate. But the thing about Upwork is I believe they only allow you to add 500 characters in the job description. So what you can actually do is just not give a job description and tell them read the PDF for the job description and then upload a PDF of the job description you've written for your website. And then in terms of the applications, if you did an application form and made it long, like I told you to, you might need to combine some of those questions into one because Upwork will only allow you to include 5 application questions. So if you're watching this video, then it's a pretty good bet that you are thinking of hiring someone to help you inside of your data business. I would love to hear from you in the comments on who you're really looking to hire or what kind of role you're hiring for, and maybe someone from the community will have the skills needed for that role. Also, I'd love to just get to know you, and I promise to reply back. All right, this brings us to step number 2, which is narrowing in on the best applicants. There are 2 things that you need to do in this step. Part A is the vibe check. So what you want to do is go through all the applications, check out everyone's responses, and pick the top 2 or 3 candidates, and then just schedule a 20-minute call where it's really just a vibe check. So it's like a pre-interview or whatever. So maybe ask them about what they thought of the questions, if they caught any typos in your job description, and give them a Calendly link or some sort of scheduling link so you don't have to bother with the actual scheduling element of it. But you just want to have a conversation with this individual and see what it feels like to talk to them, because the vibe needs to be there really. If you're going to work with someone over a partner over a period of years, you want to have someone that it feels good to communicate with them, right? And it's not awkward and weird. And then if they pass the vibe check, the next thing you would want to do is to send them a small test. Let me give you a demo of the small test I created for the position I'm hiring for right now, which is data science product developer. Okay, so let's just take a look at this real quick. This is a little mini test that I created for this role I'm hiring. It's only 2 questions really, so it's pretty straightforward and easy. You don't want to give anything too hard because people might think you're trying to get them to work for free. Okay, so the first thing is just get them to rank each of their skills. So for me, I'm hiring a data science product developer, so I just want to get a good idea of their expertise or their level of comfortability with each of the things that could potentially go into any of the data science products we are creating. So you can see what those are here, and this should be straightforward and easy enough for them, but it gives me a good idea of how I could actually utilize them as a resource inside the business for building products. The next thing is you want to ask them just to write a small blurb or do some sort of written task that demonstrates their understanding and ability to communicate. Particularly if you're hiring someone from a foreign country that doesn't speak English as a native language, you want to make sure that they can communicate effectively. So in my case, I'm asking them to describe the role of Lambda in solving for eigenvectors, a chance to understand and get to know how they communicate in written format when it comes to technical stuff. So you'll need to figure out what this looks like for you, but this is mine. Okay, this brings us to step 3, which is to make an offer. Again, there are 2 parts to this. So part A is to hold an interview with the candidate. If the position is kind of lower in importance and less technical, perhaps, then you can get by with a 20 or 30-minute interview. But if you're looking to hire someone part-time, full-time, or for something that's really technical, then you probably want to invest maybe 60 minutes in your interview. And of course, you just want to ask them about their responses in their application form and if they caught any typos in the job description. I'd ask them about similar projects they did in the past and problems they faced there. Also ask them about any add-on capabilities that maybe you saw in the mini exam but were not required from your job description, and just ask them what kind of work experience they have with those. And then lastly, I would ask for their references. Part B is of course just to make the offer. And it's a good idea to tell people why you picked them above all the rest, just to help them understand what it is about them that you really respect and value enough to offer them the opportunity. And hopefully you have prepared an onboarding package. Having an onboarding package is super helpful when trying to make time-effective hiring moves in your business. You just provide them the onboarding package, reiterate the job descriptions as well as any details about hour and pay, vacation, and benefits, all of that stuff. And then also provide them clear steps that they need to take in order to accept the role. So you want to set a deadline for them and just tell them when they need to take action if they are accepting your offer for work. If you're liking this video on hiring processes, then I'm sure you're going to love this video on hiring mistakes that you want to avoid when bringing in help into your data business. So I'll put a link to that in the description below, as well as the cards to this video. Still there? Awesome. Congratulations, because that means you've made it to the stay to the end bonus for this video, which is where I'm going to overview a sample job description. I've actually made this job description available to you through our free Facebook group called Becoming World-Class Data Leaders and Entrepreneurs. There's a link to that in the description below, but let's get started reviewing a robust job description. This can be used as a sample to pattern after when creating your next job posting. All right, so here's the job description that I created for our data science product developer role. Now at the top is where you put your business mission, values, and give them an idea of the type of company that you are and the type of team members that are working inside the company. It's almost like a heading for your job descriptions. You can kind of use the same one over and over and then put different job descriptions underneath it, depending on what you're hiring for. So we have our brand values baked into every single aspect of this description, basically our values and then our mission and our vision, what they can expect in terms of ethos working with us, just basically what they can expect. Underneath that is then the data science product developer. This is the job that I'm hiring for. You want to, of course, give them information about the location and hours, any preferences with the language and stuff like that. Then the type of position that this is going to be. So is it full-time? Is it part-time? Are you looking to hire an employee? Are you looking to hire a freelancer? That sort of thing goes in this section. And then an overview of the position. So you want to just give them a really good idea of exactly what you're hiring for and the long-term vision for the role, as opposed to what most people would do, which is just to think, okay, I need to get this done. I'm going to put it on Upwork. And instead of thinking like, okay, well, how could I shape this into a long-term role that can produce a really good ROI from a business and also bring in a new team member? So you want to think like long-term in terms of the overview of the position. Like I'm hiring for one product, but I've been detailed kind of like what all our products are looking like right now, who's going to use them and what is the mission of these books, and basically giving them an idea of why we're actually doing this. Then I've given them details about the responsibilities that they can expect if they get hired for this role. And somewhere in here, I put a typo because I wanted to use that as a second kind of little test of, can you find a typo on the job description? Of course, for data professionals, you want them to have extreme attention to detail, right? Put a typo in here and then you just put the responsibilities and think about what those are for you. That's going to be very job specific. And then also a results section of what you're going to expect them to accomplish inside your business, and then requirements. Now, this is where you would probably go into details about like programming languages and environments or platforms they're used to working with. Also, if you need communication skills, stuff like that, you detail all of this stuff here. And then also we just keep reiterating extraordinary attention to detail and being collaborative. And, we put in elements about passionate about data because basically we want to hire one person that has shares the same passion and love as we do inside the business. Put some things about their character just because it really matters. You don't just want someone there that's there to make a paycheck. You want to have someone that's happy to be there because it represents an opportunity for them to grow in the next level of their career, right? When you hire that type of person, then just make sure to nurture that expectation. But this sets an expectation that, hey, this isn't just like a one night stand of data projects where you just come, you do this and then you're gone. This is more of like a long-term role. We will help cultivate and grow your career as you're helping us in our business sort of thing. And then, of course, if you have any bonus points, like I put these in just because I was thinking of different ways that I might be able to use someone with data skills inside our business. And then a section on please do not apply anything that is basically like a deal breaker, throw that in there. And then it's a description about technology, like project management. Like here, this is almost project management stuff. So the technologies you use for project management, and then at the end, rate requirement. And then here is the red herring. So type your name in all caps. So if they don't type their name in all caps, then they probably didn't read the entire job description and you have to decide if you want to throw them out. Also, I made sure they know that they should not answer the applications just yes or no, because if they do that, I'm throwing their application out. Set a deadline to apply, and then that is it. So feel free to use this as a pattern or a sample you can pattern after in writing your job description. I'm leaving it inside the Facebook group. I hope you'll join us in there so we can get to know you. If you like this video on proven hiring processes, then I know you're going to love my Data Entrepreneur Toolkit, because that's a collection of the 32 very best tools and processes we used in my business to hit the multiple six-figure mark. These are a set of recommendations for the very best tools I found on the market in the 8 years I've been growing my online business. And we've also thrown in some operational processes as well. You can get that through the link in the description below. Also, I would love to see you inside the Facebook group that I mentioned earlier, Becoming World-Class Data Leaders and Entrepreneurs. There's a link to that in the description below as well. Oh, and if you like this video, be sure to show it some love by giving it a thumbs up and tell me in the comments below what kind of content would you like for me to create for you next. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll be first to know when the next episode drops.